morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in beautiful, sunny Matawan, New Jersey. It is Sturch, it is Gooch, as always, and, of course, Wrestling Rob behind the glass, doing all the producing, and, of course, we're chopping it up from the beautiful Custom Cabinet Creations sports desk right here. It's beautiful, right? We actually got to clean it. I need to clean this thing. I guess, like, Windex? No. Like a cleaner, like a surface cleaner, right? Pledges work. Dalton Nolan, AO. Don't know who you are, but if you're new to the show, welcome, my man. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, do all that jazz. But yeah, welcome everybody. If you'd like to support us, there's a way to do it. You can like the video, first and foremost. You can share this stream, let everybody know that we're here on a Monday morning talking all sorts of shit. And then you can also go to patreon.com, ladies and gents. Support the show. Patreon.com/Chop Sports is the way to do it. There's a $3, there's a $5, there's a $10 increment. Those are the ways you can support the show. The $10 Dynasty members are going to get some new exclusive content as soon as the interns start. So they're going to be coming on. Actually, I talked to both. Our new interns will be starting respectively the Tuesday after Memorial Day, which is next Tuesday, and the Wednesday after. 2 summer interns for Chop Sports. Good stuff. Mean, does it get any better than that? We got a bunch of awesome people coming in here to work for us and work with us in growing the brand. Also, Dat Chat. I actually just posted in Dat Chat, as a matter of fact, about this show. So if you're coming to us from Dat Chat, welcome. Over 480 members over a brand new social media platform by my boy Glenn. Yes, you're in Cali, bro. How the hell are you gonna? Ryan's coming in like interns. Like I would intern there. Like that's a flight.
I'm not sure that's what his thing was about. I'm thinking there's a double entendre there.
Yes. Okay. I'm thinking dirty ski. Yeah. Not good.
No, that's not how this is.
And it's not how it's going to go, because there's one of them. My girl Madison, absolutely Madison Palumbo, the first ever female chop athlete, will be joining us as an intern. She's going to be a great addition to the squad. But I actually have to. The interview process isn't the right word. I want to get to know her and get to know what her specialties are. Like, what do you do? Social media? Do you do editing? Do you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. We'll get it all worked out. Can't wait for those guys to start. Also, June the 26th, come party with Chop Sports, okay? It is a Sunday. It's going to be a beautiful day. It'll more than likely be 110 degrees, which is fine. Sunday,
with
June
like an afternoon thunder shower.
Yes, or something. But we got the thing, right? The overhead thing. We got one of those.
I don't think we do.
Oh, good.
I don't think we have the canopy.
Sunday, June the 26th, 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock in Merrill Park, Island, New Jersey, slash Woodbridge, Colonia, all that. Just to do this, and I talked to my boy JP the other day. He's in. He said he sent an email. You can send an email to, I forgot the email address.
Chopsports.events. Chopsports.events@gmail.com.
Boom, done. So we're excited about that. That's coming up relatively quick. We're going to have Memorial Day, but before we get to Memorial Day, it's going to be baby's birthday. Which, by the way, Ashley put that on my calendar. And I'm like, in my calendar, where she wrote on my desk, she wrote baby birthday. I'm like, no. While it's accurate, I crossed it off and wrote Chris' birthday. Like, I know when your birthday is. Not my baby.
You might get lucky because we go to the doctor's Wednesday, and if they want to have a C-section, it might be on that day.
Wow, okay.
26, baby.
Another May 26th, along with Jimmy Palumbo getting involved. He's going to turn 57. Oh, the Lawrence Taylor year is over. Man, that went quick. Boy, oh boy, Jimmy Palumbo getting involved.
Kyle's coming
and says bad news.
Let's see what Kyle's got for us. This is going to be, I would imagine.
I'm moving it over here just so I can see it because the camera was blocking it. Bad news. My assumption is that we lost the bets last night. We lost a bunch of bets last night. We can get into all that. But one thing,
I have a feeling he's going to come in with some type of sarcastic thing that's not real bad news, but it's going to be funny.
One thing that he won't bring up is the fact Scoop said he's only coming to the barbecue if you have soy dogs and gluten-free buns.
I was spot on. Bad news.
That is bad news. Oh man, we're going to have to make exceptions to the rule because obviously he's not allowed and permitted to do any kind of hot dogs.
Is he allowed to eat during the day? Is Ramadan still going on?
I think Ramadan's over. Still going on like it's a freaking month process.
It's 40 days.
40 days.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude. Casual Dave. Have the Casual Dave shirt on.
I'm cultured. I know exactly what's happening here. Anyway,
that was actually funny. Where's your Casual Dave
That's
shirt?
how I looked over.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, shout out to Janine, by the way. She brought the Let's Effing Go t-shirt in red so she can wear it to all the Rutgers barbecues.
Oh, there you go.
And tailgates.
Still coming in the slander.
I know. The slander's out of control. Also, speaking of winning and fantasy, bring it up. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 884 to 808. I wiped the floor with Gooch. Mr. Fantasy himself. Mr. I play so much fantasy. I'm a warlord, this, that, and the third. Dave hasn't played fantasy baseball in 10 fucking years, and he wipes the floor with him, baby.
This is very reminiscent of like a Yankees and Mets situation here where Dave is fucking doing all this celebrating in mid-May when I'm just stocking up. And Dave even said it. You came in. So there's some reinforcements coming for that's the baseball, baby, and that's in lieu of the call-ups that have been taking place over the past week. So don't worry about me, Dave. You know that I got you marked down on my hit list now.
A hit list. All right. Well, I'll see you at the end of the year. Playoffs. I do want to give a special shout out to Robbie Ray, Max Fried, Chris Bassett, Verlander, Cortez, and Keuchel, my 6 starters who have absolutely slayed it so far. I'm 5-1, guys. 5-1. I'm in first. Well, down a half game. I'm actually taking on your boy Joe this week. He's 5-0-1, which you already said. End quote. He's lucky. He's a lucky dude.
I feel like he's had some lucky.
How'd you get a tie?
Me and
Joe tied.
Does that happen a lot in fantasy?
It doesn't.
Baseball?
Not when you have like fraction
That's
points.
a lot of points.
797 to 797.
Those are a lot of points too.
Yeah.
I mean, I scored 1,000 last week. But, I mean, that's just me.
Dave, nobody's crowning you anything yet. I see. You named 6 pitchers. We'll see if they hold up.
They're all going to hold up, and they're only going into their better part of their year. The first 6 weeks, we thought everybody was going to be like, let's see how long it takes for these guys to adjust. They had no spring training, blah blah blah, and here we are. 6 weeks in. Oh, shout out to Kyle for not setting his lineup yesterday. We were all pulling for you, buddy. And you lost because, again, like, it bothers me. Like, you join a fantasy league, and I get Kyle, I'll make an exception for. The dude is busy.
No, I make 0 exceptions. It takes 5 minutes. Set your fucking lineup.
It's Kyle. And Dina's team had to be taken over, like by Vinny. It's Toast. It's like, come on, guys! Like, you're in fantasy, you put the money out.
I had a conversation with AJ. I'm like, look,
AJ's killing
team.
it. He's 3-3, I think.
But AJ does have an L this season because he didn't set his lineup and he went over in starts. So that's what I'm talking about. When Joe's lucky win, Joe got a win because AJ went over. But if you set your lineup, those 2 starts that got taken away, he might have sat those guys.
And listen,
so
there's definitely been times where, like, the game starts and I didn't know it was like a day game. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? And I just missed it. That's like an exception to the rule. Yes. But to not touch it until the end of the week and then you get an L for 4 points, whatever happened to Dina. Oh, she ran into Route 34 and she was just like, I'm done with all this. No, she's fine. She's just very busy. She actually is a website developer and she works with a lot of schools. So the schools are now getting into that season. Unfortunately, I know the kids don't want to hear this, but before you know it, you're going to be in the next school year. So they have to have all the websites up, and that's what Dina specializes in. So she got busy.
Bailey, what's the problem, though? Is there a problem? Is there Rob sitting here?
Basically saying, who's this asshole Rob, and why is he always on the show? Rob has been a complete awesome asset to the team, and also he hosts a show that goes down tonight, the Fight Factory, little pro wrestling action, Wrestling Rob and Tommy D. Shout out to Tommy D. Did you also see that?
No.
Oh,
his daughter wins this grand finale super
thing,
kabang thing where she wins like the whole thing. Like, she won something last year and she won it all this year.
Does that mean that she gets an entry into Frank's Beauties, the beauty pageant that they're having at Patty's Pub in Philadelphia? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I was waiting for a second.
A mortician. Let me ask you something. Banging him dead bodies? The fuck?
Rob's a shit. He was just wondering. So he still loves you, though.
I mean, Scoop even said Rob is hotter, he would say.
Oh, well, listen.
I would say that too.
I'm not going to,
good looking guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
We don't diddle your kids.
We don't diddle. I do not diddle kids.
Oh, my God. All right. Anyway.
Demonetized.
Yes. And we're canceled. No, but listen, it is a good feeling in here today because, again, Friday night, I watched the Rangers and it was piss poor. We go down 2-0. And then everybody's feeling a little shitty. Everybody's feeling a little down on their luck. Remember, the Rangers were down 3-1 last series. They came back, won the whole damn thing. They actually came back from every single game and won that thing. So I'm not so worried. And then I get sent this gem from my boy TJ.
Hey, Dave, 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 Dave
The greatest chant of all
So
time.
was this before the game ended?
No, this is when they scored.
All right.
You can remove that now. But yeah, shout out to TJ who sends me that. That gives me life. There's life in New York, ladies and gents. 3-1, an empty netter. By the way, when Kreider missed that open net, I almost lost my damn mind. He had a chance to put the game on ice with like 2 minutes to go. Hits the post. He was right there. But obviously they send it long ice, and they hit the empty net after that anyway. 3-1. There is life in New York. We have ourselves a series here, folks. Goes back Tuesday. Now, here's my my plea. I've been to a lot of Rangers games in my life. I have. And I loved every second of it. Every time you're in the Garden, it's electric. It could be game 2 of the regular season, and it's electric at the Garden. Any Knicks fan will know this.
We went to a fucking Rangers game this year, and I fell asleep in the second period.
You did?
No, I'm kidding.
I
No,
you didn't. But no, remember when you said, what's that all over the ice? I said, those are pucks, Chris.
Bro, I thought people were dropping shit off the overhang onto the ice. I'm like, why is there are they going to clean the ice? I didn't know that they just scattered pucks around.
Yeah,
for
you just
a
grab
while.
them. It's like a shoot around basketball, but no rack, you know. But anyway, my plea is this, and I don't know if they're watching, but to Dr. Sean Basinger, James Rube, I will buy you all your beers if you take me to game 4. Okay, I've cleared my slate. I want to go. I want to experience the Garden in the playoff atmosphere. I need it in my veins, and if not, okay, no worries. I'm not going to like hold it against you. I'm not going to not be your friend. I'm just saying, I think it would be great. I can more likely use the $400+ that I have in my bankroll now because of the Sauce Network. I promised my dad. God damn. All right, so 1 down. I know, and I know Sean's not going to be able to do it either. I'm sitting in my underwear again watching this game tomorrow night. All right, well, in any event, they're going to win again. They're going to even up the series and take it back to Carolina. I'm excited about it. The game itself was great. They played good for 2 periods again, and then I feel like they were playing on their heels a little bit in the third. It was very, very upsetting and very discouraging. But Carolina, bro, they're just a big team. They forecheck really well. They're just a very, very good team. And the Rangers are definitely outmatched. Don't get me wrong. Carolina is 100% the better team. But that kid line and like guys that are really contributing for this team, Panarin, I need you to get involved.
I
man.
actually have a hockey question.
Okay, here's your answer.
Are they waiting for this boring hockey league to end so they could start the real one?
Oh my God.
I'm telling you.
Oh my God. Fight TV, man. Fight TV did it
So
again.
it's already started.
So you talking about that league?
The season started already?
Yeah. Well, I saw highlights on Fight TV.
What is it?
The hockey league that
It's
they don't
literally
play hockey. They
a
just
hockey
fight.
league where it's just fighting. There's
goals,
no hockey.
nothing?
It's like a team against
Is
a
it
team.
supposed to be hockey though?
No.
No,
Well, they're mimicking it.
They
have
making
uniforms.
They're in
and
uniforms.
They get in
gotta pull
uniform.
the shirts over.
And
They got to
just
do a
fight.
hockey fight. It's insane. And it's what Gooch is here for anyway. So I think that kind of works out well. You have yourself another thing to watch.
Like, don't you think that if in the event that we had a Rangers Penguins, it was like triple overtime, like they do 2 overtimes, be like, all right, pick a guy, we'll pick a guy.
Let's go.
Right? And let them just fight at center ice.
It's not
to
settle
settle
false.
the game. That's hockey.
But
right
listen,
there.
so
It's not false.
me and Payne have been talking about this with the Rangers anyway. It's like they haven't really showed any like grit, any like there's not really they're not in there fighting or
Payne
nothing.
watches hockey in
And
April, so don't
towards the end of this game right here, D'Angelo, the Rangers coach was chirping at him. They did not like
Bro,
it.
he told him to shut the fuck
He
up.
said he don't care about the fans booing him. He's also a former Ranger. It's going to be a little chippy game 4, man. They're going to go out there attacking him from the go.
It's gonna be great.
So I do
can't
agree
wait.
with Rube, though. Rube brings up a good point here, and that the hockey playoffs have been light years better than the
Oh,
NBA
yeah,
playoffs.
without question.
The NBA playoffs, I saw a stat the other day about how many blowouts there have been.
Mhm.
There've been there's only been a couple good games. Really,
I know.
If you
It's
think about
crazy.
it, from bell to bell, there's
and-
been like 5 good.
But
NBA
here's the thing
games
with
in
that.
the
Here's the
playoffs.
thing. They like rotate. So it's not like one team is
there
starching
hasn't
the
even
other.
been-
So it's
there's
like
been
back
some
and
good
forth
series.
blowouts.
There's only been 1 or 2 game 7s in the NBA. 2.
I think it was last round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
And
yeah.
neither of them were close. So
Right,
we
and
got
those are
game
blowouts
7s that
too.
were over
I
in
know.
the first
Listen,
quarter.
Crazy.
Hockey's been overtime, game
Oh,
7, game
freaking
7.
nuts.
I haven't really watched hockey in a long time till like this playoff season, and I keep every day I'm on Twitter because I'm watching Edmonton Calgary, bro, and I can't get enough.
And you know what,
dude.
though?
I
The
can't.
problem with
It's
the NHL
amazing.
is the NHL playoffs have been so amazing. I haven't known that there's even been a game on.
They're
Other than
terrible.
Rangers.
Marketing
There's
is
nobody knows
awful.
about
Well,
it. So
And I'm not saying I'm a better marketer or a better, social media presence than the NHL, but you guys stink. You guys think you can't make one commercial, air it a bunch of times during a game
Yeah, that's-
in which they're watching it already. So You're marketing your.
100%
We
right,
want
though.
Jimmy's commercials during
Jimmy's
a
complaining
fucking
about the
game.
content of the show.
What?
Maybe we should run it back, and then we should just talk about his diet.
Oh, okay.
We could-
Well, I'll tell you what.
Concerned about the content of our show.
Hey, Facebook
Go
user,
right
go
up
over
your-
to YouTube.
Jimmy,
please.
do me a favor. Go write up your game plan for today's show and send it to me so I know what we're going to be talking about.
There you go. Somebody is coming up asking where I'm watching the game. I don't know who that is,
They
but
should have Gallo fight Sanchez. I agree. Although we talked about Gary Sanchez.
Gary Sanchez is ripping the cover off the
Gary
ball.
Sanchez is a dirty fighter. If you remember the brawl against the Tigers back in the day, he was just walking around the pile, picking people off with uppercuts. Not in fair fights, though. Like, they were on the ground fighting someone off, and Sanchez was hitting him with uppercuts under the pile. Amazing.
Oh my God. Anyway, so that's the Rangers talk for the day. I'm very excited about the game going down tomorrow. Where I'm watching, as of right now, I'm going to be on my couch. So whoever Facebook user is, if you want to coordinate something, I raged on a Wednesday. Let's rage on a Tuesday. Let's just cover all our bases. There won't be any beer pong though. So
I was about to say, we gotta see where their local beer pong.
Yeah, right.
tournament is.
Wherever they're playing beer pong, I'm there.
No sweatpants this time inside, please.
That's so. Yeah, please, God, for the love of God. All right. Also, I lost a bet yesterday, and I'm a complete degenerate at this point. I'm betting PGA Tour now. So,
Nice.
not fun. I had money on Happy Gilmore's caddy, and he lost to Justin Thomas. So congratulations to Thomas. Great emotional moment. Man, it's hard not to just get romantic with sports, man. It's like, to me, at one point of yesterday when Justin Thomas sealed the deal and he won and he got like emotionally and teared up, I was like, dude, it's golf, man. Like, what are you doing?
Bro,
But I'm like, dude, you just won. Like, in that same breath, I'm like, Dave, shut up.
Yeah.
Dave,
Sure,
shut
you
up.
gotta
Because
think
this
about
is
it.
one of those cool moments that you'll never forget for the rest of your
let's
life.
just talk about how much money he got for winning.
Mhm.
Did you see how much money the other guy lost?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh, it's
tear-jerking
life-changing shit.
stuff right there.
Oh,
If
yeah,
I'm
no,
winning a
life-changing
if I
shit. I
win
just-
I don't even, what was it? PGA.
One of the Masters.
It wasn't the Masters.
No, but
was
one
it?
of major tournaments.
Yeah, I know it was
a
a
Kyle-
major, but either way. it
Kyle
wasn't-
came in right here. Shout out to Perea, who had the biggest choke job in PGA history. That happened.
I think it cost
in
him
the 18th.
1.8 mil.
Bro, he put that shit
Really?
in the water. Like, how do you have one more job to hold on for dear life, and you put that shit in the water? Like, dude, that was rough.
I've
Yeah,
seen
that
rough
was
to
an-
watch.
That was
I saw
an
something on
expensive stroke.
I saw something on Twitter yesterday saying that like nobody thinks. I mean, Tiger Woods is obviously playing really well, but he's only playing in major tournaments. They said like
He
there's
might
no,
be done.
there's no way he could get as good because all these kids are really good.
Tiger's
to
just
get on
a
the
money
tour.
grab at this point. They'll pay him a ton of money just to
Just
show
to
up.
show up, right? Yeah.
At this
And
point,
if he
but is though?
happens to, if he is in contention, then what it's going to do to the TV ratings, all they need is
That's
to make
true.
the cut.
Bro,
That's
the
all- really
PGA
all
goes
they
to a
need.
playoff. Like,
Yeah.
that was intense shit. I
But
was
then
like,
again, bro, this is what makes sports great, because in the event that for some reason he does pull it together and win one, it
Yeah.
will be epic.
Mhm.
And that's what he's there for, that one shining moment. I know this
Yeah.
isn't the NCAA.
But these kids are getting passing them, man. All these kids are good.
next up on the docket
Yeah.
is my brother's son.
I would say Kyle,
my godson.
there's no
he's
way
only like
Tiger
one,
Woods.
but-
Tiger Woods isn't
really
in the top
good.
50. There's no way he's even in the top 50. I would say he's outside the top 100.
Probably.
No question
Yeah,
about it.
Probably. You're probably right.
There's a lot of. He's old now. He's been around for
Yeah,
a
look,
long
Kyle, same
time.
thing. Tiger Woods isn't in the top 50
Right.
golfer anymore, unfortunately. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it. NFL news. Anybody care that Jadeveon Clowney stayed in Cleveland? No, right? Okay,
No.
so he's there.
Does
I think
anybody,
he's-
well, I mean, does anybody care that the United States is offering up an Russian arms dealer to one day?
Can I just?
Do you
look,
know who?
I'm
have you ever seen
volunteering
Lord of
for like
War?
comment of the year because like I think I nailed it with this one. So apparently, what's her name?
Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner is on her way back if this trade is accepted. Let's be honest. It's on the table right now. The U.S. have offered up an arms dealer in exchange for
Brittany
Griner.
Griner.
Okay, so she's coming on back.
He is
and
the
it's-
guy that
and that's
made-
very insensitive of me not to know her name off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But I will say I'm not accepting this trade. Where's the draft picks? Where's the upside of the arms dealer is so much higher.
If you've never seen Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, it is exactly who the movie's made after. It's this guy, and we don't get another pick or
Right. There's no
something.
compensation.
we don't get.
Enough
She had
of
a
that.
weed pen.
Right.
This guy's
guy
selling
had-
bazookas.
And she
Yeah,
can't play
fucking-
defense apparently either.
Selling bazooka in different countries. Why he's here? Not even selling them to us.
Oh my God.
Sorry,
this,
sir.
This is when it all goes
And
crashing down.
she's in a Russian prison, probably not eating all week, while he's in a United States federal prison playing pool, salad bar, TV,
Watching wrestling.
anything. You know what I mean? Come
But-
on.
Anyway, Brittany Griner, a prisoner to be named at a later date. At least give me some future incentive. That's what I said yesterday. Where's the draft picks? Do something. This is not a fair trade at all. Very insensitive.
Our GM needs
They'll
to
be
go.
back. Anyway, yeah, our GM and the entire front office should be removed. But anyway, won't get into that. How about some more beef, right? How about some more beef? So the Yankees obviously run into a buzzsaw named the Chicago White Sox over the weekend. We lost 2 of 3. One rain out the other night. That sucked. But then obviously the doubleheader yesterday, which we had intent to go. Thank goodness we didn't, because obviously they lose 2 games and it was 100 degrees. So we didn't lose there. I will say, before we get into the bigger story about Donaldson and Anderson, what the frick are they going to do with Chapman at this point? I said it last week. He's a liability. Is it the price tag, Gooch? Like, why are we consistently going back to this guy
it's
when
definitely
he's proven he can't do it?
Definitely the price tag. But at this point now, forget everything else, right? He's having issues with his location, but his command is gone and his velocity is gone. So he's throwing like 96.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody in the league now is overthrowing
If Chapman's
you.
not throwing 103, then he's not effective. His slider is less effective, and now he's trying to pinpoint strikes. Look, I've always defended Chapman, and it's becoming hard to do so now because the piling on is getting annoying. But it is baseball, and
Susan,
typically what does happen over the course of time is, it writes itself out.
Mhm.
Chapman has had struggles before, but he also has proven that he's been successful as a closer. I don't know if it's going to work out anymore.
Right. It seems
because
like
of the velocity.
Well, that too.
When
But,
you're looking at it and it's like, okay, well, he's still throwing 101, 102.
but he's
That's
not.
not happening
Right.
right now. So there's something underlying.
But I think it's to the point now where he gets on the mound and we're like holding our breath. We shouldn't have to do that with our proven closer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're like, is he going to be on? Because if he's off, he's going to be really off. We're not going to come close to this game.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it was comical
the Yankees have
yesterday.
some arms in the bullpen that
They
you would
don't, though,
expect
now.
that would be able to step in and do the job. But closing out games is very different than coming into the 6th and pitching 2 innings.
Chad
Trust me,
Green,
it is.
Chad Green will be missing the rest of the year and potentially the beginning of next year with Tommy John surgery. Luis Hill comes in here for 1 game. He throws his arm out. He's out of the farm system now. Like, what do? I say I nominate Clay Holmes to be the everyday closer. You want Chapman on this team? He's making all this money. Make him the 8th inning setup guy.
Yeah, but right now, here's the problem. There is extreme value in what Clay Holmes has been bringing to the team in the role that he's in. He's not pitching 1 inning. He's pitching 2.3, or 2 1/3.
So basically you're saying, like, well, that's losing value in the fact that we can go 2 innings.
What
with
he's doing for
So
our
bring him in
bullpen
the
right
8th and the
now
9th.
is already really important. Loizaga, you would say, is the guy that we had as planned to be the next heir apparent
he looks a little off too.
to Chapman, but his ERA is above 4.5 or something like that, and all the numbers across the board, their optics are bad on Loizaga. So
Tommy
we'll see.
D coming and saying he's giving me Jabba Chamberlain vibes when Chapman gets out there. Yeah, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get when he comes out there. I don't find it to be very.
At least we have Aaron Boone at the helm, so I'm sure he knows exactly what to do.
No, he doesn't have any decisions. He's not making any
Do
decisions.
the
was
Yankees have
sarcasm.
another closer,
Laid it
like
on
another
thick.
setup man they could try to put in that role? Because if Chad was out, like you said, right? So why not put Chapman in?
No,
like the
they really
7th
don't.
inning?
They don't have
They
an
don't-
option to go to a closer unless you want to make something drastic like a Loizaga
So
or
if
like
they
a
bring in-
Holmes. But
If
like
they
he
bring
just
in
said, you lose
Chapman-
value.
If they bring in Chapman in the 7th, do you think he's going to all of a sudden be able to throw 101 again?
No, but at least
No.
you have 2 innings
You know?
to not fucking lose.
So what do you guys think they should do? Is there anybody out there right now on a terrible team that's definitely on his way out? Who would be the guy to replace
I don't know.
Chapman?
I
It's
don't
up in
know.
the air. I gotta
Yeah,
look. I gotta look. There's a ton
Look,
of
I'm not
middle
willing to just
reliever arms. There's a
completely-
lot of guys out there, but at what value?
Nobody wants to completely write the guy off, but he's making it very hard to get behind him. And so, shout out to once again a amazing blunder by Hicks getting picked off at second base yesterday. Even Tim Kelly, Joe Kelly, the pitcher at the time, was looking at him like, what the hell is he doing? Like, why is he getting picked off at second base? Hicks, you have no value. It's time to go. It's time to go. And when people are like, oh, Gallo sucks too, I would take Gallo over Hicks right now in a heartbeat. Don't tell me nothing. It's ridiculous at
take
this point.
Hicks
Hicks
over-
stinks.
Would you take Hicks over the modern day Jackie Robinson?
So now I guess it's a great segue to talk about the story that's unfortunately taking over all of the sporting news shows this morning, and it's the beef between Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson. And the context is simple, okay? Donaldson calls him Jackie multiple times. Jackie, in reference to the referee in our graphic here, Jackie Robinson, an innovator, a trailblazer in baseball. He referred to himself a couple years back as the next Jackie Robinson. Okay. First of all, And I said this in the
It's
comments.
not- it's like
that's more offensive than Donaldson calling him Jackie.
I listened to the entire interview. He didn't say specifically, I'm the next Jackie Robinson. It's a lot more to do with how he wants to bring back or bring fun to the game. So it's a lot like what Tatis was doing. It's just that when you use the parallel of Jackie Robinson, what he went through, and you trying to bring fun to the game, I think that rubbed some people wrong. But in this case, Josh Donaldson, the way he's talking about it is that it didn't actually rub him wrong. He was just fucking around. And that when he was on the Braves in 2019, Dave joked about it, and Tim Anderson took no exception to him saying, hey, Jackie. So it was Tony La Russa that used the R word and said that was a racist remark. Even Tim Anderson, after the game, he said, I didn't have time. I'm not trying to play like that. But he didn't say that was racist. So I think La Russa is the one that kind of started that fire.
And La Russa's been a black guy in the league forever.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that in a split second. But as far as how this all materialized, I think what it came down to was they had their little beef at third base where Josh Donaldson was stopping him from, pushed him off the bag on a pickoff attempt at third. This was in Chicago 2 weeks back. Right. They got into a little shoving match, but Josh Donaldson said that he owned that situation. He apologized to him for it in real time and has been trying to diffuse the situation since. He said when Grandal came up to him at home plate, he was a little confused and was, again, pleading his case, saying, nah, you guys got it twisted. Like, it was never a problem before, and now it's a problem because of what happened at third base the other day. All right, whatever, but that's not what we're trying to do. So it did look like that to me. I was like, it looks like the White Sox have a little bit more fire out there, and they kind of got the better of the Yankees in that little dust-up. And the play after it kind of showed that as well. It looked like the Yankees got their heart took when the benches cleared a little bit. And Donaldson, instead of kind of standing behind his words, he was apologetic, which maybe it's the right thing to do because he wanted to let
what's he going to do?
Be out there knowing, like, when somebody's starting to call you a racist and you're like, wait, no, that's not how I meant it. You're not going to be like, fuck you. You're going to say, look, no, that's not it. You're wrong. But at the end of the day, I like it. If Tim Anderson was a Yankee and vice versa, I don't like Josh Donaldson to begin with. I think he is an antagonist, and him being on the Yankees, I'm forced to like him, but I understand. I think around baseball, players don't like this guy.
What in what world? Even if he said that he wanted to bring fun to the game or whatever, play in that style and manner of just being electric like Jackie was, in what world does he even deserve to even make the comparison? Don't even say the name, bro. Dude, Mariano Rivera wore the number. Never did he say, like, I'm going to do things just like Jackie Robinson. He did it in respect, and that's it. Didn't call him that. Bro, here's the thing. And this is the comparison I drew. I said it to Rob and Pre. My best friend Tommy, right? When I was actively pro wrestling, we would go out a lot. Or not, because there was a lack of going out. He used to say, can you go out, or are you too busy this weekend being Doink the Clown, right? Because he's referring, and I would laugh, and I would say, man, I'm booked here. I got a booking here. Sorry, can't go out. Now, that's like me going back to him. If he said it years later, and he goes, yo, you want to go out tonight, or are you still being Doink? And I just say my career went south. Now that gives me the right to be like, dude, all right, you know what? Enough of the Doink shit. I don't appreciate it. Like, no, once it's a joke, if he called them out as Jackie as a joking matter years ago, it's a joke forever. You don't get to just turn it because you feel like it.
If I'm Tim Anderson and we had a little dust up at third base, and the next time I see Josh Donaldson, he says, hey, what's up, Jackie? I'm pissed. I don't give a shit, because I don't think that at that point it was a joke anymore. Now Josh Donaldson is playing the role like, oh, I don't think he meant it racist, but he definitely meant it to get under his skin. No question about it.
Welcome to sports. Welcome to getting under the skin of your opponent.
And then thereafter, Tim Anderson has every right to take exception with it, and Grandal has every right. I love all that. That's good. You saw the way the White Sox played after that? It worked.
Yeah, Anderson shut the stall up.
And the Yankees shit the bed, so it worked. That was the right thing to do. As a team, you get behind your guys, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't agree with La Russa's comments after. I don't necessarily agree with Anderson calling himself Jackie Robinson at the outset, but when you have these major star athletes, the way they have this inflated idea of themselves, it's not unexpected, And to Kyle's point, he's saying he thinks he's just trying to bring more interest into the black community. I think that is important, because we talked about it the other day. There's only like 14 pitchers in baseball.
It's not a thing. Young black kids are not being brought up to play baseball anymore.
I do agree if that was his intent was, but the media spins things however they want. And the minute you hear the word racism, obviously it's going to be a huge story now.
A guy,
maybe not as big as it would have been if it was 2 years ago, but
correct.
No doubt.
A guy that I've disagreed with every single take he's ever said in my life, and that's Stephen A. Smith. Even he came out and said, you can't just loosely throw around the race word, okay? This is LaRusse's fault. If this guy didn't come out, his drunk slander, come out and say, oh, well, he said a racist comment. And then they go to Anderson and be like, well, Tony said it was a racist comment. And then Anderson's like, well, yeah. You know, like, there was no second thought. It was just like, I'm pissed at you. You're under my skin. It's not a joke anymore because we're opponents. There's some beef. And now let's go. I say the next time, drop the goddamn gloves and go after
I say
each
the
other.
Yankees go
That's
after.
it.
I say the Yankees go after Tim Anderson.
Can't happen.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
Tim Anderson will be in pinstripes in 2 years. By the way.
My thing is, if you're saying like you said, this all you think this started 2 weeks ago after he pushed him off. Josh Donaldson, they played the day before this game anyway, right? And so why not the catcher not say nothing to him then or 2 weeks ago? Or why did you wait?
I think that in the Saturday game is when he said it to him twice. Because if you hear Donaldson says I listened to the Donaldson interview.
Yeah.
He's like, I said it to him in the first inning, and he didn't do nothing. He just like brushed it off. And then I said it again. And then even Tim Anderson said he said it to me, and I let him slide. I gave him the pass on that one. And then when he said it again, I was like, I don't play that.
Let it slide. Fuck out of here, bro. Enough. Let it slide. Like, what are you gonna do, Anderson?
never
you become
let
a
it
bitch
slide.
overnight. You have. This is a bitch made move. 100%.
And the whole thing with Jackie Robinson, right?
I think he wanted to fight makes him less of a bitch. I think Donaldson looked like more of a bitch.
No, well, Donaldson
put them
in
together
fight.
in a fight, one-on-one, and Donaldson probably starches him.
Oh, I don't know.
I think so.
He looked like he
probably
wanted
bigger, but
who Donaldson's bigger than Tim Anderson?
oh yeah.
Tim Anderson's a twig.
I mean, obviously size don't matter. I get that. I get what you're saying, Chris.
bro. First of all, what are you talking about? He's got
Tim Anderson's obviously got a reach,
right?
The graphic speaks for itself.
My point is, do these guys think Jackie Robinson was having fun around?
Bro,
I mean,
perfect
what
point.
he did first of all for baseball was huge for the African American community. It was huge for baseball. It was a step in the right direction. Why do you think these guys? He was electric for the game. Yes, of course he was when he was out there, but his own teammates wouldn't get him in a hotel. They made him stay outside. Nobody treated him well. He wasn't having any fun out there.
The fact that all right,
Jackie Robinson's catcher wasn't
sticking up for
fighting
him.
Josh
And
Donaldson
that's
at
the
home
point.
plate.
nobody was sticking up for him. So the fact that this all escalated the way it did over a word, and it wasn't even a derogatory word, it was literally calling him Jackie. It's like, come on, man. Like, it's to the point now where you can beat this over the head as much as you want, and there's no way to spin it. You can't spin it. If the kid took offense to it and it's never been said before, then I
guess,
get it.
Wait. Let's pump the brakes real quick and let's let the Major League Baseball conclude their investigation. Because there is one.
It's true.
And we'll see what goes down here. Let's see if they can investigate what Josh Donaldson's intent was when he said that, because that's what you have to investigate.
There's Mike's.
You know what I mean?
There's Mike's.
Yeah, what are you gonna put a fucking lie detector test
There's
on?
Mike's all around that field. So Mike's definitely picked him up going over there and saying however he
That's
said
just
the word
like
Jackie.
that's bro.
So you're gonna hear it regardless.
Listen, it's all hearsay. It will always be hearsay. And I bring this back to when Myles Garrett slapped the shit out of Mason Rudolph with his helmet and said it's because he said something racist, right?
And
that's never been proven. It's just been saying, that's why I hit him and tried to kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why I did it.
That's true too.
If this was so offensive, then Anderson should have been the first one to run from his position and go fight Donaldson. Don't let the catcher come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh man, just so you know, this is wrong what you said." Fuck you. You're not involved in this. That's it.
Did you ever hear the hot mic on the NFL sideline? I think it was the Packers playing. He's like, I never had my butthole fingered. Did you ever hear that fucking hot mic?
And that's what you just come out and say on the show,
Because they're talking about controversial 9-second clips that nobody's talking about. Swear to God, never had mine.
I have to hear it now first, the clip. But
It's fucking hilarious. It's literally, you hear the announcer laughs at it. He's like, oh, okay.
He just emailed it to Chop Sports Media if you want to pull that up. I listen, it might be something that's worth looking at.
You want me to
pull it up on the email and see if you download it and bring it up. But in any event, I'll put.
Are we gonna get canceled for it?
I don't hope not. I mean, if that's the case, then we get put on the the Sauce Network going forward. If we get canceled for it. Baseball news outside of this, I just call it bullshit at this point. Would have to be the Albert Pujols. He is absolutely showing his age. By that, I mean he's not. He's hit another home run, hit another 2 home runs. He's 17 away from 700. I raised a question as he's pulling this up. I raised a question to you first, Rob. Is there a shot that Albert Pujols hits 17 more home runs in a part-time role?
No.
It's not, right?
No,
It's not a thing.
I can't see it happen.
However,
no.
you brought up a fantastic stat. So Albert has hit a home run off of 444 different pitchers. First of all,
that's crazy.
Insane to me, right? You look at Bonds, who holds the record at 449. So now we're only 5 away from that record of hitting off the most different pitchers. Can he catch that?
He'll hit that one.
Okay.
Maybe not this year. I
mean,
mean,
this is it for him.
Oh, this is the
Who
last
else
year?
said it? This is it.
Oh, he's definitely not going to hit the 17, but he'll break that one. That's on mine too. And
we brought. Whoa, what are we doing here? Trip. Where are we? There we are. This trip, that's a big thing. We'll get into that. Hold that thought because we want to definitely talk about that series. But that's interesting. That's the play that injured Butler. So
yeah,
we'll get into it in a second. But before we do that, I want to ask you a question, guys out there. Are you guys worried that you'll run out of money in retirement? Tim Anderson might. No, I'm just kidding. He's going to make millions of dollars for the rest of his life.
The Yankees are going to pay him too.
The Yankees are going to pay him too. Or how you'll get, or you'll pay for long-term health care if needed. Will your family be okay? Stop worrying. Start planning. A comprehensive retirement plan gives you security and greater control over your money. Michael Fusco can help. As president of the Fusco Insurance Agency, Michael will work with you to create a comprehensive retirement plan. He'll explore using life insurance and annuities to help you build a more secure future so you can worry less now. Call 718-701-5787 to schedule your complimentary consultation. That's 718-701-5787. Guarantees and protections are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company. Some insurance policies are not available in all states. And I do want to add this. He added a new service in which Chop Sports might get involved in, to be honest with you, because, again, we're a growing business. Sometimes when you go to the banks, they're going to say, well, where's your income? And you're like, oh, here. And you hand it over, and they're like, okay, and they hand it back. You're like, you're not making enough, sir. You don't get this. Now Fusco is actually offering lines of credit for small business owners who are having a hard time at the banks. So that's another thing that he offers. So Fusco Insurance Agency, full powerhouse. He's got a million things he offers. Go check him out. So Gooch has something about the grundle.
Yes. So it's obviously swamp ass season. So head on over to manscaped.com, use the promo code CHOPSPORTS, and you receive 20% off any package they have. So 20% off your entire order. They have a bunch of stuff over there, starting out with the ultra smooth package, and you get some crop exfoliator, some crop gel, and you get these replacement blades and a little stubby crop razor 2.0. What you do is you take the 400K LED lawnmower 4.0 and you trim down your ball sack hairs as close as possible to your skin. And then you take out your razor and you get it nice and clean for that butt crack snack. We talked about butt stuff earlier. So if your ladies want to enjoy your butt crack snack, you're going to have these men with their lawnmower 4.0. Head on over to Manscaped, use the promo code CHOPSPORTS, take down the graphic.
Boom.
Speaking of buttholes, I'm gonna get on the butthole.
Why is this happening?
So I told you, my girl's got to go for the doctor Wednesday, right? For a C-section, right?
Tread lightly.
So they want to be clean down there, right, Chris? I know you've never been there. Dave knows what I'm talking about.
This is happening. This
conversation. So I think I might have to get some Manscaped because she thinks she clipped herself. So it's a little rough.
So do they have the women's
She texted me and I was like, "Why are you telling me this?"
We've had Dave just talked about our personal finances, and now Rob's talking about.
First of all, I didn't talk about any personal. I'm talking about.
I'm at least talking about.
I didn't talk. First of all, I didn't talk. Oh, what'd you say? Your what? Your parents. Speaking of parents, happy belated to the GOAT, the legend, Judy.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Happy birthday.
I was tied up on Friday. I don't know what made me not say happy birthday to my mom on Friday, but happy birthday,
Well,
Mom.
because it was on Saturday.
Yeah, I know, but still, like I had the intention of doing it, and then I just
Probably
didn't have it in my notes.
My
and then-
accident, probably,
Yeah, there was a
screwed it
bunch
up.
of stuff going on. So, Mom,
my
happy
God.
birthday. I hope you're listening. And Lindsay, I guess happy birthday to you too.
First of all, I just got Scoop's text, and you're an asshole. But that one, off to the mythical, dude. That is my favorite. Nobody knows that movie, right? It's my favorite movie, maybe not of all time, but it's up there as far as one of my most quotable movies. That's Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I love that.
Why would you put a sewage next to a pleasure station or some shit? Anyway, NBA playoffs last night. Anybody watch Luka drop 40 and lose? I know I did. I had the Mavericks -3. I thought for sure Dallas is different at home, and they are. Don't get me wrong, they are. Just not that different because Curry, Wiggins, they did their thing. Curry went for 31, Wiggins 27. This one, Gooch, I think is all but over. It's just a matter of when. Does Dallas steal the next one? Great, and then you get back to Golden State.
Dallas will steal the one. I think I said Golden State in 5, but I think maybe even 6. So I'm not sure. I have to go back.
I said 7. I think you said 6.
I did have Golden State winning this one pretty easily. Anybody see the dunk? That's the story here.
Posterized.
Bro, Luka even like covered his face like he got hurt.
This
was
is
so bad.
Sorry. Just coming off Bleacher Report, Cleveland would pay Baker's salary. Browns have offered to take on a good chunk of Mayfield's $18.9 million in guaranteed money to make a trade happen.
Yeah, well, of course they would, because it's either that or eat all of it.
Hello, Carolina. Here we go.
Yeah, Carolina said that they're still in on Baker and Jimmy G. And now,
Jimmy,
that
came out
came out too, because as the Baker news goes, the right now the 49ers and the Browns are pretty much beefing with each other as to who's going to get something for one of their guys. That's it.
I can't even.
Who could move? I'm no way taking. But here's the difference, right? The Browns have no leverage. The 49ers have maintained that they'll keep Jimmy G if need be, right? The Browns have no leverage because teams know that they're fucked.
But I don't think the Browns will ever come to a point where they'll cut Baker Mayfield. That's what I think.
No, they will.
I don't think so.
No, they have to. They will have
They
to.
don't have to do anything.
Why do you think they have to?
And without even asking him, because I know the answer, but if there was a chance and you're Carolina, who do you want, Jimmy G or Baker?
It's not even close.
I mean, I just said I know your answer for that reason.
I don't know. If you look at that offense, I can see why they'd want Baker
I
Mayfield.
kind of want Baker. I don't know.
But Jimmy G,
I kind of want to go win a playoff game.
Yeah, that's my point. I get that too.
Look
though.
at one
You're
guy's
right,
record against the other guy.
This is very true. All right, speaking of back to the playoffs, we're talking to the NBA playoffs here. Again, this series to me might be over. Luka and Brunson make up 60% of the scoring in this one. And I think if you add who's the guy off the bench?
Spencer Dinwiddie.
If you add him, that's 80% of the points for 3 guys. That's just not enough. You need more contributors. You need guys to drop double digits. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the team that you can mess around with when you're not scoring at will.
You try and pick out what Dallas could do differently. There's not much. You know, like they're not.
Well, we said it. Luka had to play in God mode.
They don't have even Luka playing in God mode. It doesn't matter. They could let him do him.
No.
They could let him do him. Golden State's loaded, and they play good defense, and they have stoppers on the perimeter, and they play good down low. Draymond's a fucking pest, and they hit their shots, and they're not even really shooting great from 3 in this series. They're really not. They're not like
Curry was 5 for 10 last night.
As a team, though.
That's good. But as a team,
not.
they're really not shooting that great from behind the arc, and they're really. I don't know what their averages have been. I think that maybe they've gone down a little bit since like the Splash Brothers days, but they were only, I think, averaged like 30 or 32 threes a game in this series. That's not that much in this modern day NBA, I would think, but I have no clue. I could be wrong.
I have a question for you guys about the Warriors. Okay, so they're about to go on like a 20-year stretch. From 2013 is the first year they went back to the playoffs. The year they draft Draymond, they go on, they beat the Nuggets. They lose. Next year they go and then they win the championship. Okay, so they go to win one and then they lose one to Cleveland. Right? They get KD. They they win 2, then they lose to Toronto. Right? KD gets hurt.
How many fucking championships they've been to?
If they go to the finals now, it'll be the 6th time in 8 years.
God damn.
So my question is, they go on record.
They're gonna go
back then saying that they're trying to go on like the Spurs thing, the 20-year thing, which is great. Now people forget that KD was a part of those 2 championships. So now it's no KD, right? It's back to kind of the main guys that did it. Do you think they're gonna go on another? Do they have a chance to go on another 3 to 4 year run with Wiggins, Poole, Wiseman? Because this is if they win the championship here, this is huge for Clay, Steph. Draymond, because it's like KD. We did this is kind of like us again, and they'll probably say we never really needed them to begin with, but they had him anyway. Do you think they can go on another 3 to 4 year run with these players they have now? Or is this kind of like, this is your goodbye, guys. Come on, get
What's
on.
the contract situation? Like, is everybody on the
I
contract?
feel like everybody's on board.
Clay might be the only one.
Clay might be the only one, but I feel like at this
Come
point,
on, New York.
I feel like Clay is probably the most expendable, even though he does bring a lot to that
He does,
team.
yeah.
It's just that he hasn't been on the
And what a
court
story
as
this
much
year.
as these other guys. Like a Jordan Poole is way more important to that team's success than Klay Thompson is right now.
Mhm.
But can they do it? Yeah, because I think Draymond and Steph and even Clay at this point are on board. They're not. I don't think any of those three are going to go anywhere. Wiseman, we don't know what we're going to get out of that guy because he could be the next Greg Oden at this point. Where you get
You're
nothing.
Right.
But that might not be a bad thing because I don't know that he fits in with them anyway. And
You're right
He's
about
like
that.
he's like a clog down there, especially coming off of the knee injury that he's got now. But Jordan Poole is that dude, and Wiggins is that dude.
Play point guard, Jordan Poole.
He plays like a
Shooting guard,
Like a hybrid?
Yeah,
plays
Okay.
like, you know,
mhm.
pretty much any guard.
I saw him
in
as
the
like a
NBA now.
facilitator, but then
That's
he's
not
scoring
a
out the ass
legit
too.
I'm just thinking of like, those main 3 guys is what really
Well, there you
started
go.
it. So.
Looney and Porter are the only
Two
two
free
free agents after this year, so they all get
So,
to
yeah,
lock
They're
up.
solid guys, but I think that they could easily.
Those are
retain.
expendable pieces. I think. I
They're
don't know.
not even expendable. They're retainable pieces. I think Looney might get a nice little payday somewhere else. It comes down to money, but those are the guys that like they carved out a nice role on this team, but that's not vital to their success.
Interesting
to the point
debate
where
here
they can't replace them.
From Glenn, our resident dat chatter here. This will be Curry's 4th. High chance of finishing with a better career than LeBron.
I don't know about
better
career.
like you mean by like championships? I don't know. Dude.
So it's like Robert Ory have a better career than
Yeah, you
LeBron?
could say
Let's-
that for
you know,
that
but
too.
Steph Curry is he's not LeBron, but
They're
he's
two different
he's at
players.
least a
Can't
Hall
compare
of
him to
Famer.
Robert Ory,
He's
though,
at least
either.
a Hall of Famer. Of course not. But
they're 2 different players.
meaning like I don't want to just put titles into the comparison. LeBron's been to 20 straight postseasons.
Except for this year.
You know?
According to Kyle, Looney will get paid somewhere. Porter might take a pay cut to stay in Golden State.
He said not comparable, and he said no, and Kyle saying no shot. I mean, is it not comparable though? I mean, if Curry keeps going all these finals, like you said, if they go on some kind of run here where
Another
they go,
4 years.
he's
You
been
look at
to,
the teams-
would you say 6 and 8?
6 in the last 8.
I mean, Jesus
LeBron
Christ,
has
like-
taken some pretty bad teams deep into
I
playoffs.
agree.
Now,
I think
he's
it's
played on
one
some
bad team
stacked
into the
teams.
playoffs.
Look earlier. I mean, LeBron had some bad Cleveland teams.
But okay, but there you go, get to the
I think they're two
playoffs
different
when you're
players.
16 out of 30. Like it's not hard to get to the
I don't
playoffs.
think you're realizing how long LeBron's been in the league.
Yeah,
It's
been there
like
since,
what
like,
his
fucking
legacy is
forever.
actually made of. LeBron's legacy is insanity. It's compared to Steph Curry, and I'm a big Steph Curry fan. But let's just not make that comparison.
Steph Curry's outside shot isn't falling. He's almost useless on the court. He plays no defense. He's an average.
LeBron
passer.
James is a top
But
2
it's
player
funny
in history.
At the same time as Kyle says that, James Rube comes in, says Curry has been and will be a top 5 player of all time. I don't even know how it's a conversation. And I know Rube got on me
And
where I
I'm
said,
not
I wanna
debating that
punch
will be the
Curry
thing
in the
either.
face.
But I don't know that it's no. I don't agree with that one because top 5, we're talking about some.
yeah,
It's
that's
hard.
a rough conversation.
But here's the thing: when we're talking about in the conversation, then you have to give the pass. If somebody feels that way, and you're talking about this guy's good enough to be top 10, and we could all agree to that, or top 12, we're like, yeah, we could agree to that. Then for someone to have them in their top 5, that's not that far outside the realm of possibility to me. If you're making a top 15 conversation, then but I can't put a guy like that over Magic Johnson. Just can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do that either. Top 5 is a very, very bold take with Steph Curry. Maybe he's saying at the end of the day, like when his career is all said and done, you could talk about him being a phenomenal 3-point shooter and he's got the record, right? He's got the most threes ever, right? So that's definitely in the realm of possibilities of being talked about in that way. But in top 5, like you start with Magic, Jordan, and LeBron. That's 3, right? So like, tell me there's not 2 more guys better than Steph Curry ahead of him, Oscar Robertson, guys, like that. To me, that's rough. That's a rough
The
one.
heroes of Golden State 3 champs have been Clay, then Durant, and Clay. I mean,
So no love to Steph Curry. Listen, I don't like Steph Curry either. I don't like his demeanor, and of course, people came at me on Twitter like, "I guess you live a miserable life." Like, no, I don't care. In fact, I've never been happier. So no, it's just that. And you're like, "Oh, I guess you hate success." Like, I don't hate success. I just think that in Kyle's terms too, I think Steph Curry has changed the game dramatically and not in a good way for the youth, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Call me old school, but now everybody wants to be Curry and they want to shoot 3-pointers. They don't want to learn how to post up. They don't want to learn how to shoot a foul shot. They don't want to learn the basics. They want to shoot like Steph Curry.
Dave,
that's why I don't like Steph Curry.
It's not even
And the chewing
it's
of the
not,
fucking-
it's not about the kids wanna.
What-
The kids
why?
wanna. This is like how the game is being coached in the country in AAU. It's not even about
Because
it's-
of Steph Curry, though.
I mean, It is.
The NBA, even the coaches.
Because of the NBA. It's like what we could say, like if Steph Curry wasn't really good at shooting threes, like it's his fault, or is it the mouthpiece thing that
it's the mouthpiece thing?
The kids don't want to practice free throws. Steph Curry hasn't missed a free throw in his fucking career, so they should be practicing their free throws like Steph Curry does.
Oh, man.
I think Steph Curry's been great for the game of basketball. The media does what they do, and the NBA does what they do in terms of changing the way the game is being played. You could blame Steph Curry because you need a fall guy, but all the guy's doing is hitting threes and having fun and apparently winning championships.
It was hard because you had, you know what I mean? Not back then, but the big guys, the little guys couldn't get in there and score.
Because they were getting elbowed in the eye socket.
So they had to learn how to shoot, and they learned how to shoot, and now
you roll your eyes
because guys, you're acting like guys didn't drive to the paint back then. They did.
They tried.
Not everyone in basketball was Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason in the 80s and 90s. Like,
he's just referencing my Knicks at this point. He's not even talking about the old school basketball.
It wasn't like everyone was just like, you can't come down low because you're like, no, people weren't getting arrested.
You foul a guy once hard, they'll think twice about doing it.
6 fouls have been 6 fouls. And look, yeah.
That's shocking. That's never changed.
What do you mean?
Foul a guy hard
always been 6
You foul a guy hard once
and
you never do it, and you don't come back. So now in the NBA, you're making it like the big men aren't down to foul. No, if you foul someone hard, you get ejected in a flagrant 2.
Welcome to the soft ass NBA.
So who are we blaming? Steph Curry or Adam Silver? Or like the way it's gone, the brawl, the malice at the palace. These things changed the way they were allowed to officiate and govern these games because you can't have people going into the stands and beating the shit out of fans. And it's just gotten a lot more serious. I guess that was kind of the tipping point for the NBA.
The mouse at the palace?
Just not letting people fight whatsoever.
How fantastic was that, by the way? That was some of the greatest shit I've ever seen.
Our test was just trying to stay away.
Bro, that guy looked like the guy looked like Turtle who came onto the court. He was just like, hey, man. And all of a sudden, he just got cracked. Oh, that was great. And they went after the wrong guy. They went after the wrong fucking guy in the crowd. Like, he didn't throw it. The look on that guy's face of fear was just like, whoa. Ben Wallace was like, I'm going to kill all of you.
You never think that's going to happen. You can talk shit from all over the place.
I mean, you know what's funny? It's funny. Didn't we start getting into this last year? Wasn't there like a little bit of a period of time where all of a sudden guys were getting thrown, like shit thrown at them, like water, and that kind of went away relatively fast, right? Just like driving
ever since Rondo left the league, I think that kind of dissipated because Rondo is in.
Weren't we just talking about this?
Top NBA players are the best fighters.
Oh, Scoop is
he was in on it.
He was in on it in the chat. So the top 5 NBA players that are the best fighters right now, obviously James Johnson's number 1.
Well, you said he's a former MMA
fighter,
guy,
so that's clear as day. But Jimmy Butler will beat up everybody else.
Nate Robinson is last, right?
Yeah.
He's probably still sleeping.
Oh, snooze. Somebody wake up Nate. So we should rank the top 5 ever by ring counts. Never. That's not.
He knows.
There's a whole big
sarcasm.
So there's a whole big thing happening.
Just take place as we move forward.
Kyle and Glenn and AJ, and it's a 2-on-1 assault here. So
there was another game this weekend, guys.
There was. But then that
goes
down tonight.
Yeah, we'll pass by the weekend's games. We'll talk about them a little bit, but Boston just shit the bed in game 3.
I can't believe, when you go back to Boston, that's supposed to be like your safe haven to get it done.
If Tatum doesn't go out with a shoulder injury and then comes back in, they probably win that game.
But he did.
No, but he did, though. I know that, but he did. But they were definitely on the way back. Marcus Smart goes out with a rut. Did you see the injury? It was Marcus Smart.
Oh, he ran into him, right?
His ankle fell between his thing, and he came back. He went to the locker room and then came back.
Get stuck in the stage like Daniel.
No, that was rough, dude. That was a work. So.
Yeah, Tyler Herro out tonight. Jimmy Butler's questionable, but he's probably going to go. Big point spread out of this one.
There's another
-7
punchable face in Herro.
Marcus Smart's definitely fully back now, and same thing with Horford. There's no injury designation for those two guys.
Jimmy out.
No, Jimmy said he's going to play. You're going to have to kill that dude to get him to not play.
Exactly. That's why we love him.
You don't get top 15 players like that to sit.
They got the job done, minus Jimmy. He goes out after 20 minutes. He gets hurt. Bam Adebayo puts up 31. So they
what a game, dude.
Oh, man.
Him.
And, dude,
what a game.
That's what I'm saying. This game right here, it's very hard to call.
Adebayo?
Yeah.
He needed it because he shit the bed bad in game
Did you
2.
see the the free bet? Someone like Kylie, them bet things give away like free bets to people. Some guy did a free bet, Jaylen Brown scoring 40 and hit for like $750.
Jesus Christ. Jaylen Brown had himself a game. That has been such a disappointment. It's always a disappointing thing when these guys go off and it's just not enough. Like 40 points. If your team, think of any NBA game ever. If I say Jordan scored 40 that night, you more than likely thought they won the game. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of guys out there. Luka did it 3 times already, scored 40 and lost. You know what I mean? So now you're looking at this Jaylen Brown effort, 40 points, lose. So
and
now
he shot 100% from the field.
Dude, wait, what?
From the field, not 3-pointers, but from inside.
Inside, okay.
100%, which is pretty.
Who?
Jaylen
Brown.
Oh.
So
that's the first time it's ever
number.
happened.
It is a big number. The Celtics are favored by 7 after that loss the other night. So
no Harrow probably.
Tyler Harrow and Jimmy Butler's got the questionable thing, but
I would still hammer the Heat tonight. That's just me. I mean, I'll wait for Kyle's picks later, but like I would still hammer the Heat tonight. Jimmy Butler, like you said,
7 points is a lot, but I feel like they're begging everyone to take the Heat.
At this point with 7, yeah.
It's in Boston, right? It's game 4.
Yeah, it's game 4 in Boston.
Sure.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, Kyle, if you want to chime in on which way you're going here or feeling, good show. Time will tell. Glenn, thanks for checking in, man. We appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that chat. And appreciate you being a Patreon member.
I kind of agree with Rube on this one. I feel like the Celtics are gonna steamroll them.
Yeah,
like Butler a little bit banged up. A real big spot because we all think there's going to be a back and forth series. Boston's got to come out there and lay it on them a little bit because they don't have Harrow. They don't have the reinforcements coming off the bench. They could build a big lead early and just kind of coast in this one. Butler injury, we're going to see how it is, but we talked about earlier with that dirty play or not so dirty play.
I can't believe
it's not being talked about,
like,
and I didn't hear Jimmy Butler say anything bad about it. So if Jimmy's okay with it, maybe he's just putting it in his little black book and he's going to get due later and he's not going to talk about it like how you'd expect Jimmy Butler to do it.
Yeah.
But he's hurt and we'll see how he plays. But I think they know something. They're begging you to take Miami in this one.
Yeah. Games aren't close recently. It's usually 10 to 20 point wins. I like Boston -7. And we were just talking about the fact that there's been blowouts left and right in the NBA playoffs. So the stars do align, I think, for Boston to go nuts. But like for me, I just like if Jimmy Butler's in the game, Jimmy Butler's not going to lose by 7.
Scoop said he heard him call him Jackie Robinson when he read his name.
I mean, game 2.
There you go.
Game 2, they got the shit beat out of them, and Jimmy Butler played, and he played bad.
Well, he only played 20 minutes.
But he played 3 quarters, and they didn't play him in the 4th because they were getting the shit beat out of them. So,
oh yeah, I actually wrote that down. Yeah, it was 39-18 after 1 for Miami. That's why. Like Miami was up 39-18 after 1, and then the rest of 2, 3, and 4, those Celtics outscored them. Just not enough.
No, I'm talking about in game 2.
Well, I was talking about game 3.
When Jimmy Butler, you said Jimmy Butler plays, I can't see him losing by 7. I guarantee you that the Heat lost by 7 like 8 times this year and a couple times this postseason already.
I like Jimmy Butler to keep it close tonight. Again, I don't make my own bets. I'll tell you right now, I don't. I usually go with the sauce on NBA. Him and his team over there, AJ, they know their shit when it comes to handicapping these games. So I'll wait for that and stack the bankroll up a little bit. But again, if for whatever reason Boston can get out of here with a win, we got ourselves a series. Now, if the Heat were to come out and win this game tonight, Chris, like go up 3-1 on a team like Boston, is Boston got the best chance to is Boston the most equipped team to come from a 3-1 deficit?
No, because when you're doing it against a team that put you down in a 3-1 hole that plays defense the way the Heat does, it's not like you're playing a team that just could go cold from shooting and then that's going to be it for them. Like you could not shoot well if you're Miami and still win the game because your defense. And there's only been 3 times in history of the NBA where there's been a 3-1 deficit in the conference finals where they've come back on. It's happened fairly recently, so it has happened, but it's not common. So no, I don't anticipate that.
Kyle's looking like he's hammering the first half for the Celtics, but he's probably going to go with the Heat +7 full game, still crunching the numbers. That's the way I feel based off of what I've seen. But again, I'm not an analytics guy. I can't tell you, anything about that crap.
That's a slippery slope for me. I don't like doing that, but I have done it. But I usually live bet those types of things where I'm going to take one thing in the first half. It's like you really have to have a pulse on the game. So if you're on a roll, which Kyle might be right now.
He was crushing it yesterday.
Then that's the type of thing that you could do and you play the game perfectly. But it scares me to go first half Celtics, second half or game Heat. It's like
because the Celtics,
I'll play the live bet in that situation. I'm going to go with the first half Celtics and then see how
the whole thing's playing out. But the odds might not be in your favor.
Then you just
sit back. That's it. You don't bet. Oh man. All right. I'll go against that tonight. So, all right, Ryan, we got ourselves a little bit of a debate ski come tomorrow. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs again tomorrow. We'll talk about the recap of this game. Also, the Yankees are back to playing minor league teams as they welcome the Baltimore Orioles. You can get tickets for that game for about 8 cents today. What's up, Mike? Thank you for that. We appreciate you, bro. But at any event, make sure you like.
You know who that is, right?
I mean, you're going to call me out right now?
No. But the last time he was in here, he actually made the announcement that he is the cornhole level.
That I knew who he was.
All right.
You know who that is?
When you said, first of all, when you said,
what up, Mike?
Are you calling me out? Like that was the indication that you didn't know.
Did I sell myself out on that?
Yeah, I thought you didn't know either.
All right, cool. But I do want to give a special shout out.
I can read the fucking room. That's one thing
I do want to give a special shout out to Janine of Absolute Eyewear. Mike, obviously, for the cornhole.
Cornholelevel.com.
That's what I meant.
Baby.
Cornholelevel.com. And of course, Michael Fusco. All have contributed already to the party on June 26th. So we're very, very grateful for that. Thank you so much. You're going to be paying for all the big guys beer over here. We really appreciate you. So if you haven't RSVP'd yet, please be sure to do so. It's the invite page. The event page is on Facebook. Go check that out.
And Mike, I want to reach out. You got to just get in touch with either myself or Dave over the next couple of days so we could kind of set up how you want to approach your little stand kind of deal.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We appreciate your support and appreciate the early support. And I know, unfortunately, you're also supporting Jimmy Palumbo's podcast, but I mean, nobody's perfect, right? So we they all can't be winners. No, shout out to Jimmy, who, by the way, texted me. What did he text me? Jimmy watching playoff hockey is the most disturbing shit I've ever heard. Like, it's just enough is enough. I know he doesn't know what he's watching, but yet he's like, the Igor stinks. The Rangers stink. Everybody stinks. I'm like, dude, you haven't watched a goddamn minute.
Hockey
Stop
stinks.
it. Hockey does not stink. Rangers do not stink. Rangers are going to win tomorrow night. We'll hype that game up tomorrow. We want to thank you guys for joining us on the show. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like this video on YouTube, okay? Helps us a lot. It helps us pop up in the search. We appreciate you as well. Right. See, Scoop coming in. Jimmy isn't a true fan like me. Biggest fraud alert. And that's another thing. Before I don't want to get off on a tangent here. But yesterday, when I was like, AJ is at the Yankee game, that Mets fan, that was me literally like tongue-in-cheek joking, right? And Toast is like, what? No, you can't go to any parks, you can't go anywhere else. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, well, it's just you guys have these like I was like, I don't know why either of them are offended or mad at each other. I'm
never mad at anybody.
I mean, wouldn't say mad, but like the back and forth, it's like, holy shit, I'm gonna mute that. That's the part I want to mute.
Just being Toast?
The beef over non-actual real things, like what stadium, like what stadium is better or something. Like, it's like, how could you say that? It's like, I don't like
when he throws the spreadsheets at me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy's pitching and he's been terrible against this guy, and all of a sudden the fucking Excel spreadsheet will pop up in the chat, and I'm just like, what is all? I don't want to read all this shit. Like, this is too much. I'm done. Oh my god. But anyway, later on. You were going to do it?
Yeah, why not?
Plug it. Go ahead.
If you guys are on YouTube right now, you can go down and join the Fight Factory on Chop Sports YouTube page. We're going to be on today. It'll probably be released tomorrow because Tommy wants to do something on YouTube. But we're going to be talking about Sasha and Naomi walking out. Bryan Danielson gets hurt this weekend. MJF wants out. The locker room's crazy. A lot of stuff on the Fight Factory today. Also doing our first giveaway. So if you want to be involved with that, please watch the show tomorrow. Listen to the show. Apple, Spotify. We're on everything. Let's go, guys. Fight Factory Wrestling.
Giveaways all day. AJ finally responded. I attended to get hammered and fade the Yankees. Mission accomplished. Well, good for you, AJ. Good for you. All right, for Sturch and Gooch, thanks again to Rob for producing this bad boy. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Chop Sports Daily.